Hello, welcome back to 9 Years in China. We're going over a lot of my stuff that happened in my first year in Fuyang, and we're going to tell a story a little bit today about the second person I met in China, a little student named Toni, a nursing student, and she comes from a city called Anqing, and Anqing in that part of Anhui province is very, very famous for bad English, bad vowels, bad everything. And Toni, she's in, like I said, she's a nursing student. She's a little buck tooth, still all girly and wore glasses and everything. And but she was determined to make her English better. And yeah, let's do it. She's my friend. I want to help her all I can. And what we would do. And to set the story here, back then, in 2010 or whatever, there was a man named Fuyang, and he had this big Speak Perfect English campaign going all around China, and he was making a lot of money selling books, showing pictures of your mouth and what it's supposed to do when you speak English. And every morning, people would gather out at the soccer field, the football field they called it, and if the weather was good, and they would read from the newsletter, the newest Fuyang newsletter. And what I would do with Toni and some of the other students, I would go out there before class, early in the morning, and I would listen to them read and try to help their pronunciation and all these things. And one day we're out there with Toni, and she's reading something about it's no big deal. But when it comes out of her mouth, it's like, no big deal. It's no big deal. I'm going, ooh, that's kind of bad. And then I said, well, say meal. I say, I want to eat a meal. I want to eat a meal. And I'm going, dang, she can't really get the sound of L out at the end of a word. And it was funny, to hear her, it's no big deal. And so what we did, I started making her, we were looking at each other's eyes, like a OK Corral. Wah, 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 wah. And I'd say, repeat after me. I'd say, Mofang wa shoshima, to mimic what I say. And I'd say, Toni, it's no big deal. And I say, you got to feel that sound down here in your throat. Deal. And she'd be going, trying to say it. I said, Toni, it's no big deal. And every time it come out of her mouth, it is like some weird country person, And I got to thinking, I said, well, to feel it more in your voice, maybe we lower the pitch. So Toni, I said, look at me again. All right. I want you, remember, we're out in this big football field, and there's people walking out everywhere reading English, and they're watching me and her talk. She is the center of attention. And I said, Toni, try to talk like a man. Lower your voice like this and say, it's no big deal. I wanted her to feel that sound in her throat. And so, and I got to thinking, well, if she lowered her voice a little bit, maybe she can feel it better. Feel. And I say, all right, now Toni, say it again. It's no big deal. Do it like a man. So she gets her arms like this, and she's looking at me. It's no big deal. I said, no, lower. Deal. It's no big deal, and she's trying her best, to do this. You got to imagine this little 18-year-old Chinese girl going, it's no big deal. But we worked on those sounds like that every day. There's always something new going on in China. But that's a cute little story, and you have to imagine all these people watching us. So anyhow, that's a little bit about Toni and Anqing people. So, well, talk to you a little later.